Okay, so what I did was back in the winter time during the COVID and the pandemic and didn't have a lot of things to do and had a little bit of extra time off, I decided that I'd start to look into buying a RV. What I didn't realize is that RVs would become extremely popular because of the pandemic, but that's a different story. This story happened to be something I stumbled on, and I was looking at, I just happened to stumble across a video about, personal wipes that, you can use and whether or not you use them with your RV or not. And this group, and I'll put a link in my video, these two people, it was a father and a daughter, published a video that basically explained about these wipes and what happens and how they break down, how well they break down, and whether or not they were safe to use in an RV, in the Blackwater tank. And I won't go through what their conclusions were. You can go out and watch their video. I'll leave the link again in the video. But I decided that I wanted to know more about this because it concerned me with septic systems. And although the Preparation H wipes that I can get very cheaply at Costco, and then they cut down on a lot of use of bathroom tissue, concerned me a bit after seeing this video. So I ran a similar test. And what you're about to see is the test that I ran and the results and conclusions that I came up with. Okay, here they are. This is what I'm checking. These are the wipes. And this bottle is being shaken every single time I use the toilet or I use the water in some way, shape, or form, because I'm assuming by now it would be in the septic tank. And it's not doing much. This is at 24 hours. Okay. I'll let it go until I get bored with doing it anymore. I just want to make sure you see the claims that are made on these. There it is. Not recommended for use with a basement pump. Flush only one wipe at a time. It says pH wipes are with advanced wipe technology, has been tested to be flushable and are safe for well-maintained sewer and septic systems. They are made from 100% plant-based materials and are free from chemical binders. Well, I hope that the anaerobic environment of a septic system causes these to break down a little bit more rapidly. Okay, here we go again with this, and it's not quite 48 hours, it's more like 40 hours. But you can see it's a solid mass in there. I just shake it up, and there's some stuff in there. It's starting to fall apart. It's not as bad as it was yesterday, or when I began this thing. So it may have merit, and we have to understand also that this is not an anaerobic environment, and it's not being acted on by the anaerobic bacteria in a septic tank. So that may speed up the process considerably or break it down further. I don't know. I have to look into that and see what I find. Anyway, so that's where we're at now. Okay, a little over 50 hours now. Yeah, it's getting better. It's still one piece for the most part, but It's getting a little bit better. It's starting to look like it's trying to break down, so we'll just let it keep on going, see how far it gets, and we'll have to remember that it's not in an anaerobic environment like it would be in my septic tank. I definitely wouldn't use those in an RV, though. Okay, here we are. We're approximately 80 hours into this little experiment. And still seems to be one large piece in there, which is kind of getting torn up. I don't know if you can see it or not. See if I can give it a little contrast. No, it doesn't seem like it, but maybe there. But yeah, it's still floating around, maybe as one large piece and a bunch of smaller stuff. But that's 80 hours. I'll just keep it going. All right, here we are. We're approaching day 4. Okay, this little experiment. I haven't shaken this up yet. I think I will. Okay. And, you know, it's just, it's gotten better, but it's not perfect. So, again, I will say that, you know, the septic tank environment is basically a digestion bomb. So, an anaerobic digestion bomb. And I believe that would break these tissues down much faster. The question is that, you know, if it does stay intact like this, whether it floats over and out into your septic drain field, clogging that up, or if there's screen in your drain system, whether or not it gets stuck on that and clogs that up. This was all started by a person who was doing it for RVing. I definitely wouldn't use these for an RV. In fact, the people who did this recommended you don't use anything like wipes in an RV because it will foul up and clog up your black water system. So there we are. I'll let it go as long as I can and see where it falls apart completely, if it does at all. Well, here we go. This is day 5. And yeah, it's starting to break down. I think there's still some solid pieces in there. You know, but it's starting to look kind of weak. It's hard to tell without the proper contrast. There's still one big piece. Yeah, I can see it in there. All right, day 5 and all right, day 6, I believe. And yeah, it's starting to look like something breaking down in there. Kind of altogether a mash. So maybe over a week in fresh tap water. That's what happens to it. We don't. All right, I believe this is day 7. It's looking like it's breaking down. Some solids, you know, but looks like it's pretty well degenerated. I think what we're going to do like they did in the video where they compared them all. And I'm going to pour this out in a pan. We'll see what it looks like. All right, let me see what we have here. Take this off. All right, don't do that. Yeah, it looks like a chunk of something from somewhere is in there. That ain't bad. That ain't bad at all. Let me get this and we'll see what we can do. Yeah, there it is. That's well broken down after a week. And, you know, I'd be happy to pour that down into my septic system at this point, although I don't have to. However, I would definitely not use this stuff for an RV. Taking a week to digest like that, maybe faster in a black tank, but I seriously doubt it. I also don't want to use this anymore for my septic system because I don't know that these things do not float and find their way out into your septic drain field before they've had a chance to disintegrate like this, or even more. So my assessment is probably not a good idea to put wipes in your septic system. And from what I've seen online, it's not a good idea to put them anywhere, except maybe in the trash and into a landfill where they would accumulate. And of course, that's unsanitary if you use them for the purpose they've been intended for. So there's the story right there.